Welcome to this week's experiment. This week we're going to be playing around with something called goals with soul, particularly pertinent to this time of year as we start to look ahead into 2017. Now, this particular experiment is kind of a combination of tools between that have come up with by two fabulous people, Martha Beck, who is probably the world's most famous life coach and the woman I trained under, and a lady called Danielle LaPorte, who is probably most famous for writing a book called The Desire Map. So this particular experiment, all you're going to need is a piece of paper and a pen, and we're actually going to look at goal setting, but from a slightly different vantage point. So the reason we're going to do this is that typically with goal setting, we're taught to think about the destination that we want to get to. So our happiness is sort of tied to destinations when we goal set. So for example, we might think, this year I really want to achieve that promotion or that pay rise, or I really want to achieve that target goal weight, or I'm going to be happy when I have saved up enough money to be able to afford a better car or a nicer house or whatever it might be. Now, the problem with this kind of goal setting is that it's tied to destinations, and those destinations are some far off time in the future. And whilst we might start in a particularly enthusiastic way about going after our goals, a lot of the time it can feel like a slog, and it's so far off, it's almost like our happiness is only going to be achieved when we get there. So in the meantime, we don't feel particularly good. And actually, as time goes on, our enthusiasm wanes and we tend to give up. Not always the case, but a lot of the time it can be. So what we're going to do is an experiment that actually gets you to identify not the destination, but actually the feeling state of the goals you want to achieve and make those your goals for the year. So all will be revealed. So take your piece of paper and pen, and all I want you to do is, and you can pause me for this for a second, literally write down the things that you want to achieve this year, whatever they may be. So just take some time to consider the goals that are important to you for the next coming year, or even the next 3 months. So just write them down. And then once you've got your list, what I want you to do is I want you to consider each one in turn, and on a scale from 0 to 10, where 0 is neutral and 10 is this is absolutely the goal that I want to achieve, it's really, really important to me, take each one that you have listed in turn, and with a gut feel, so less about your mind but more about your gut feel, give it a score from 0 to 10. On that scale of how it feels, how is it going to feel to actually achieve each of those goals. So just take a moment to score the things you have on your list. Now once you've done that, I want you to take the thing on your list that has the highest score. Now if you've got a number of things that have the same score, don't worry, literally just pick one of them. So just pick whichever one has the highest score, or of the list is of the ones that are highest scoring, any one of them. Now what I'm going to invite you to do is just for a moment, I want you to suspend your disbelief and imagine that you have actually achieved that goal. So we're fast forwarding you into the future. So, it might help if you just close your eyes for a moment, take a couple of slow, deep breaths, and actually put yourself in that place where you have achieved what you set out to achieve. You've attained whatever it is you might have wanted to attain. And as you do this, I want you to imagine that you are in that place with all of your senses. So don't as well as whatever you might be able to see, just put yourself and actually experience what it is you might be able to hear, what you might be able to taste, if anything, what you might be able to smell, and what you might be able to feel or touch, even if it's the wind on your face or the clothes on your back. So actually just literally put yourself in that place and just experience what it feels like to achieve that particular goal. And just stay in this place for a minute. And just revel in it. Enjoy the glory of that particular place, that particular achievement. And then from that place, as you just really enjoy it, I want you to use 3 adjectives to describe how it feels. You know, does it feel peaceful? Does it feel energizing? Does it feel exciting or joyful or flowing or open? Whatever, it doesn't matter what your descriptors are, but it's how it feels to you to be in that place having achieved that particular goal. And just take a moment to write down those 3 adjectives. Now, once you've got your 3 adjectives, basically, those are your goals for the year. So what you've actually done is write down what your feeling states are for the goal itself. So the thing you actually want to achieve, rather than the destination, it's the feeling that comes with that, which is actually the thing that we all seek, if we're honest. So in understanding what your feeling states are, the whole point of this experiment is to start to look out for those feeling states every single day. Whatever it is you're doing, whatever, you know, as you go about your day, see if and notice when those feeling states come up. Notice if you have excited on your list, notice when you feel excited. If you have calm on your list, notice when you feel calm. Because then what it means is that rather than waiting for some time in the long distance future where your happiness is tied to a destination and you can't really feel happy and good until you get there, in actual fact, this allows you to experience your happiness feeling states and your achievement feeling states every single day through any tiny little thing. And the more you recognise it, the more it feels good, and the more motivated you'll be to stick to the goal and try and reach it. So that's it. Have a play around with it. Write down your feeling states and put them somewhere where you can see them on a regular basis as a reminder, and make those your goals for the year and see how you get on. See you next week.